So my original footage of this got lost, so I'm coming to you in green screen mode. But anyway, this is my call sheet. So remember, the purpose of this whole thing is you needed to get all of the information that you could possibly need in a stress-free format and an easy-to-read format so that I knew all the information we may need and my husband knew all the information we would need. So as you can see, we have the date, the activity summary, travel details, and then I've got this column here for hotel details. So I've got everything from the booking reference to the address to the taxi picking us up from the airport, baggage allowance, flight details, layover times, everything we could possibly need was all in this document. Here's another page. So this is suggested train routes, again, if tickets were booked, hotels booked, all the information that we were given via like the hotel provider. And another top tip, if you're booking something, I always say where it was booked from so that I'm not diving between a bunch of different apps trying to look for the information if I need it. So it's like booked via Airbnb, perfect, I know I just go straight to Airbnb. Baggage allowance, food was booked on the flight, day trip information, all nice and clear, all there. Everything that you could possibly need. And again, hotel information, the breakfast is included, booked via booking.com, absolutely everything, confirmation numbers, trains, hotel, what we need to do that day, is it a travel day? And then another little thing that I did is sometimes I would just link to like the blog that was like, okay, if we need somewhere to eat, we can just click on that blog and find all the information. Another top tip, and this is especially big for bookings, I don't have one on this page, this is a bad example. But for bookings, what I would do is I would scan the information or screenshot the information, and then I made a WhatsApp group specifically for screenshots of booking information, and I put all of them into that WhatsApp. The link to the call sheet was in that WhatsApp group, and it was a group for me and my husband, so we could very, very easily access all the information that we could possibly need. Again, this is about ease, this is about stress-free. You put the information into the call sheet so that when you're there, you don't have to worry, you don't have to panic. It's all on the call sheet. That is the purpose of these. Everything that you could possibly need. Suggested train times, dates, I color coded it. Everything just to make it super easy, because when you're on the holiday, you're supposed to enjoy the holiday. You're not a travel agent, you're not a travel guide. So all the information's here for everybody and all the parties. So I don't know if anybody else has this dynamic, but when you're the partner that books everything, constantly being asked, like, so what are we doing today? How are we getting there? Have you booked a taxi? Have you booked this? When you have a call sheet, all the information's there. So you don't need to ask me that. You can just check the call sheet. Would we have made any changes? Did anything go wrong? Honestly, no. Nothing really went wrong, and massively we wouldn't have made any changes. If I was nitpicking, what I would say is we did find going from city to city to city to city a little bit exhausting. So my advice for someone planning a similar trip would be to try and add a bit more contrast in. We were thinking that if we were to do it again and were to plan it again, maybe spending longer in Kyushu, or another option that we originally kind of spoke about was going to Okinawa. But if we did that, we probably wouldn't have been able to go to Korea. So it's all about balance. And I do think if we were to repeat the trip, we would definitely try and see more rural areas, maybe throw in a few more like rural day trips, just to get that contrast, because every city is really fun and unique, but a lot of cities are the same. There's a Uniqlo in every one, there's an arcade in every one, there's a GU in every one. Lots of the activities involve shopping, museums, and it becomes repetitive after a little while. So that would be my only nitpick about the trip, is we probably could have done a few more rural things. Although it was my dream trip. I loved every second of it, and we are already planning on going back to Japan. And we would definitely do a very different trip, because I don't think we would ever get to travel for 1 month again. That was just such a blessing, and honestly a dream come true. It was a great trip, and I'm really happy that I got to share everything that I learned through this little mini series of planning that dream trip. So if you have any questions, let me know. But thanks for watching.